What are the issues you have with the police? Well, we'll address some of them in Abuja. Chamberlain?
But are we in the police station to have issues with police to address those issues? Wow, are you, don't try to set me up because, anyway, just joking. Well, we have Mr. Adejobi, who is the first public relations officer. He joins us this morning. Good morning. Thank you for coming on today.
Good morning, Chamberlain. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're doing good. But, you know, we're just going to start on a different front. But then your press release right there concerning police recruitment, where you, all over the place, you issuing that statement saying that people should disregard the recruitment notices that has been put up by the Police Service Commission, that the website that was published is not associated with the police. And we know that we saw a similar scenario in 2020. What's going on?
There's no issue in any way, Chamberlain. We saw that advert in one of the Nigerian dailies, and everybody was shocked. Even some principal officers of Service Commission were shocked to have seen that. In as much as we are not instituting any investigation to that, but we felt Nigerians should know that we are not ready for 2022 recruitment exercise for now. It's a process. We just recruited 2021, and they resumed training just two weeks ago, and we are talking of 10,000 people. Where do we have the capacity to train them? So our training schools are occupied for now. So we are not ready for that. And the High Command just felt there's need for us to inform Nigerians that no, there's no need for Nigerians to be running from pillar to post to go and look for, to be checking this portal, since it's not going to have any effects at the end of the day anyway. So there's no problem. We think I've read a lot of various headlines, seeing all those captions here and there. There's no problem within the police and the Service Commission. But we just needed to do that yesterday because we've been having pressures from Nigerians who are potential intakes. We've been calling here and there. Is it true? Is it this? So there was need yesterday to make that statement. So, and you see that the advert was like signed by the management. You know, who is the management? So we made some calls and we couldn't get any clarification. So we had to do that yesterday, and that's, I'm very sure now
So they called the Police Service Commission?
We made some calls to clarify what is wrong, what is this and that, because even if the commission wanted to carry out recruitment exercise, at least they would need to consult the IG, we need to have a committee. That's the practice anyway, and we've been having that. In the last 2 years, we've not had any issue. 2020 recruitment was seamless.
What was different then and now, when it was seamless? And then this
No, we've not been having issues of who used to do it, who used to do it. No.
But is the PSC that's supposed to recruit? Isn't
anybody can recruit. So far, the two bodies, Police Service Commission is our employer. They employ everybody. Yeah. Myself. It's only the IG that is not employed by the Service Commission. Is that what is Police Council that employ the IG? All of us, PIGs, AIGs done, we're employed by the Service Commission.
Because by law, they tell us that there was actually a Court of Appeal decision in PSC versus IGP, and that the rule that it is the PSC that has the power to recruit. So unless
the first time there was no need for any court issue. It's a family thing now. Even if there's a judgment and you say, okay, forget judgment, let's talk one-on-one and let us move on. And we'll be moving on.
So why did this go out there? Because you would have thought that they could have sorted it out within the police. Why see this notice on PSC's website, the police then respond? It looks untidy.
Well, it's not that it looks untidy. It's for Nigerians. We just, it doesn't look untidy. You just need to inform Nigerians that don't bother to open any portal now, because we are still meeting on certain things. We need to meet at some. We need to make certain decisions. Okay. So don't waste your time in visiting this portal, because even the portal is not functional for now. So there's no need for Nigerians just put them on their toes, running from pillar to post to go and look for portal to print anything, because it's not going to have any effect on it. So it's a thing we are going to settle. Don't worry, it's not an issue. Every time we have administrative conflicts, we call it administrative conflicts. Oh, as we have interpersonal conflicts. Within you have interpersonal conflict, the way I have in conflict management. So these are things we need to always understand.
That's how I check. I'm a piece of
myself. It's interpersonal. Your intestine, your lungs, your tongue, your feet, everything might have interpersonal conflict. So it's a normal thing. But it's no issue at all. When we are ready, we go to meet. It's a system. The Service Commission will have a representative. The Nigerian Police Force Federal Character Commission. So it's not one thing that is only one person. We have about four parties involved in our recruitment exercise. So all of us will meet, then we fatten a way forward, then we make another statement for Nigerians to know when to visit our portals and do the needful.
Now, speaking about security or lack of it in the country, there are lots of people who keep wondering, with this fight against insurgency and terrorism, we know the police has a huge role and responsibility in the scheme of things, but a lot of times that seems non-existent. What is the missing link? How come we don't readily see policemen at the, if not at the forefront, of ensuring that this, whether it's kidnapping or terrorism, is addressed headlong?
Well, I don't understand what you mean by
I was going to say, I was going to tell my colleague that he said the police has a huge role. I was going to say the police should have a huge role. But what we have seen is that the police doesn't seem to have any role. Oftentimes when it comes to internal security issues now, which should be the purview of the police, the military is the one who is called in oftentimes to handle these issues. How does the police feel about this, let's say, sidelining? And is there anything being done for the police to be able to regain its pride of place as the primary law enforcement agency of government?
We have not been sidelined in any way. We need to understand the dimensions into crimes and criminality in Nigeria today. Before, we used to have economic kidnapping, where kidnapping was a business. I will kidnap, I get my ransom, I release my captive. But now you collect the you kidnap, you get money, you still kill the victim. We need to understand this. Then the banditry is anything that is coming up, evolving from criminal world. So if you have all this, and the Nigerian government has said banditry or bandits are terrorists. IPOB, ESN, all these groups, they have been declared terrorists by the federal government. And if the military are fighting terrorists, there's nothing wrong about it. But outside that, despite the fact that it's majorly military issue, that we want to face terrorists, fighting terrorism is basically we need heavy artillery, which of course we may not have this heavy artillery to tackle these bad guys. Because when you see what they carry at times, you know that yes, there's need for the military to come to play. Aside that, as I speak with you, we have more than 5,000 mobile men attached to the military to fight the battle. So why you don't see is that most times they don't put on police uniform when they are with them. Special forces men, they are with the military. Every conflict theater, you have our men. Any operation of Nigeria military that they have now ongoing, we have our men, and they always work together. So aside from that, if we are having more than 5,000 policemen with them, you should know that they are not fighting the battle alone. And at this time, I don't want Nigerians to see as if it is the job of
No, we're just trying to get understanding.
I mean, I would never have known if we didn't ask that question that we have 5,000
92 units of PMF, 92 units of PMF men.
But, you know, be that as it may, internal security crisis is not just confined to the Northeast and now many parts of the Northwest. At the last time we checked, I think in terms of internal security operations, the military is in about 30 different states, carrying out different internal security operations. Are you saying that for all of these operations that the military is carrying out, the police is with them?
We're all with them. And that's why I'm saying...
Do you think that the police should have been at the forefront, then the military is the one supporting them from behind?
Understanding the fight we are fighting is terrorism. So don't expect police to take a lead when it comes to terrorism. By definition.
Yes.
By definition. By pronouncement of the federal government. Banditry, terrorism. IPOB, terrorism. ESN, terrorism. So you don't expect police to take a lead.
Kidnapping.
Kidnappers have not been, they have not been declared as terrorists.
Exactly.
But these people, as I speak with you, if I'm not making a mistake, so far so good, police. Within 1 year, April when the IGP resumed office, to this moment, we have arrested more than 3,250 kidnappers. We fight them. Armed robbers, more than 4,000 robbery suspects have been arrested by the police. 50, if I'm not making a mistake, we have 58,115 ammunition recovered from them, and more than 20, like 17,000 arms recovered from these bad boys. We fight the common crimes we have in our society, stealing, fighting. Don't forget, domestic violence is part of the problem we are facing. People just always think we have so many crimes that Nigerian police will always contain. Kidnapping, we fight kidnapping, armed robbery, car theft, fighting, cultism. We have arrested more than 11,000 cultists so far. And we have, as a spirit, we have 78 cases in court now. 78,000 cases in court. And 78,000 cases in court. More than 78,000 cases in court. And we have like 57 of them active cases that are still under prosecution. We have had conviction of about 22,000 cases. Conviction. We have conviction of about 22,000 cases. So if you have 78,000, yes. Yeah. And altogether in Nigeria, we have 52,700 plus suspects arrested within 1 year.
The police certainly has its hands full. I mean, when you look at that, I mean, the police has a lot of work. Everything
now is getting out of hand. Before now, if I'm having conflict with you, Muiwa, you've taken my money. At least we can have arguments and blah. But now, the next thing is to stop and kill. At any slighted provocation in Nigeria now is to kill. So it's giving us more, additional job to do when it come to the issue of criminal crimes and criminality in Nigeria.
With the Nigerian people, not to even talk of the work that you have to do managing the people inside the house. I mean, managing the people within the force itself. In recent times, Nigerians have had cause to protest about what the police, their relationship with the police in terms of how the police has been carrying out its own conduct. The police, on the other hand, has been trying to respond. As a result of this, we've seen for the complaints that have been lodged, we've seen, the police trying to deal decisively with erring officers who are not following the instructions of the IGP. But some people will say that there needs to be a more systematic way of the police self-check-in to be sure that those kinds of officers are found out even by the police itself before the public points them out. As a result of the recent reports that you have received from the different parts of the country about the misdemeanor of some police officers, has there been any further checks within the police force to say, look, we need to double check the people that are currently working with the force to be sure that everybody is following the straight and narrow?
In sociology, that's what you call anomaly theory. You must have deviance in any system. You must have. It's a normal thing so far you have in society. So in the police, we have those who are deviant. There's no policeman who doesn't know that you must not dress improperly. You must not smoke while on duty. You must not slap in Nigeria. You must not use cutlass to flog. There's no Nigerian police personnel today that will tell me I'm not aware. Because in the training school, it's part of our manual, they must have taught you all these things. So if somebody has done wrong, police force is a regimented organization established by the Constitution, Section 214, the Nigerian Constitution established the police. So police is not a cooperative society. No, it's a community, what they call parapo in Lagos. And it is not an association that you just think, I do what I like, I do what I like. No, the art is system. It's operating on a law. Nigeria Police Act 2020, the Public Service Rule, and some other extant laws governing our administrative and obstructional activities or engagements. So if a policeman has done something wrong, every offense, disciplinary offense or criminal offense, has its punishment. If it's a reduction in rank, we give to you. If it's a dismissal, we give to you. If it is severe reprimand, we give to you. It is fatigue. Some of them will give them cutlass to go and weed. They will weed. But it is clear. How can a policeman stand on the road and be collecting money? It is not a disciplinary offense. It's a criminal offense. Corruption is a criminal offense. If you flog somebody, you assault somebody, it's a criminal offense. If a policeman wants to beat, the law says you can use minimum force while discharging your duty. You cannot measure this minimum force anyway, but there are accoutrements you need to use, there are items you need to use to enforce. If it's batting, it's a different thing. The police will give you batting to go and work. We have not given you cutlass to go and flog somebody. Stop checking phones on the road. You can't check somebody's phone. It is personal property.
That's the part
you cannot do it.
That's the part that I was very angry about. So let's even go to Lagos now. He's got more questions, guys.
I'm even going to spare that question now, Chamberlain, especially since he has already, mentioned it. But Mr. Adejobi, 78,000 cases being prosecuted. The first thing that came to my mind when you mentioned that figure was, how is the police dealing with that, especially in terms of funding? Many times when we talk about funding for the police, we don't even factor in the fact that, police has to, conduct investigations, where many people don't factor in the fact that the police has to conduct investigations and do some other things. And it demands a lot of funding. So in terms of funding, how are you dealing with 78,000 cases being prosecuted in court? Some of them you have to investigate and reinvestigate.
Yes, we have a department, we have our legal department, headed by a commissioner of police. It's being controlled or managed by the Deputy Inspector General of Police for CID. And we have, every state command has its OC legal. It must be a lawyer. And now most of our prosecutors are lawyers. So, and when you are talking of criminal justice system, it's not all the time you'll be saying you want money to do this, you want money to do that. And in most cases, the Ministry of Justice and various commands, they assist the police, because we have a desk officer in charge of these units across the country. And desk officers, they know how to relate with the Ministry of Justice in those states to see how they help the police in terms of logistics to make all these cases go on well. So altogether across the country, the 78 cases, fine, they are much, but the cases are on. We have charged them to court. We are prosecuting. In some cases, we have the help of the Attorney General of this state to assist the police in prosecuting some of these cases. So we don't always need big money to say they want to prosecute.
Just one second, Mr. Adejobi.
Somebody that wants to be...
Just a second, just a quick one. Essentially, are you saying essentially that police does not have a funding problem?
We don't have funding problem. We can't have enough, in as much as everything has been improved. Now, I know the overhead being given to the legal department has gone up when the IGP came. And I'm sure now that when we are having this large number of cases, before we were not having a large number of cases in court like this. It's becoming, that's what I said, little thing in Nigeria now is problem, fighting, assault, murder, and what have you. And that's why the IGP has taken note of that, and he has assisted legal departments in sending some funds to them to run this. And at various commands, the OC legals are being supported by their commissioners of police to see what they can do. But what I'm saying, in essence, is we don't need large money to prosecute cases. It's a system that when you have a case without one cover, just carry your charge to court, and the magistrate will listen to you, or the judge, as the case may be.
Well, Mr. Adejobi, I hope that's accurate, because I have had to do some investigative reports, and those bringing cases to the police for investigation are charged with the responsibility of providing the funding for their own investigation, because according to the Public Relations Department of the Police Command, there is no money for investigation. I'd like to quickly follow up on the question my colleague asked earlier on about tackling internal insurrection. I recall Marquez specifically said, isn't the police supposed to lead while all other agencies follow? And you said, according to the terrorism definition by the federal government, the police is supposed to provide support. But I'd like to read very quickly to you from the recently released National Crisis Management Doctrine, which says, in the event of a national crisis incident that cannot be contained by the local police, the police chain of command will inform the NSA via the IGP. And on behalf of the president, the NSA will activate the Joint Operations Room. And it goes on and on. But the point is that it says in the event that the national crisis cannot be contained by the police. So this suggests that the police is supposed to take the lead. Mr. Adejobi, how do you respond to this?
Well, this document you're even referring to, I've not laid my hand on this document. Officially, the document has not been sent or communicated to me as the first PRO. I'm not familiar with the content of this document. But whatever it is, every operation in Nigeria is being controlled by the office of the NSA. That's the #1 office in charge of security in the country. And whatever situation is, the CDS, the synergy we have now is excellent. The CDS, the IG, and other service chiefs, they always meet, they know how to do it. Like I said, there is no need for us to be pointing, to be giving assignment that this should be the lead, should not be the lead. Most cases now you see that we have joint operations where you see the army, you see the military, you see the police, you see NCDC, even you see the local vigilante groups are helping us. So at this point in time with what we're having now, there's no need for us to say, it is my job, it is your job, it is his job. It is a collective responsibility, and that's why we are even involving members of the public, the media, the teachers, religious leaders, traditional rulers. Everybody must come now to come and play his or her own role in this method, what I call as a person, I call it multi-track diplomacy in having effective security in Nigeria. So if you are talking of these tracks, in this multi-track diplomacy, you will see that every segment of society is involved. So there's no need for us to say it's the job of the military, it's the job of the police. If all of us will feel the heat, some military men are being killed, policemen are being killed. Other agencies, they lose their men to these attacks. So if you are losing our men, it's to show that everybody is working. Because if I'm not working, I will not be killed. If I'm running away, like I said, former first PROC, ECS Ojukwu, described a policeman as a madman who runs to where people run away from. Chembele, did you get that? A madman who runs to where everybody is running away from. So if you are losing our men, all of us, everybody is affected this time around. Yeah. So we can't say it's the job of the military, the job of the police, or DSS. No. And that is why you see that, I'm sure that document is to work towards harmonizing the systems we have in the country under the control of the NSC or whoever wants to control, as directed by the president. But I think at this point in time, we need to work on this multi-track diplomacy to see how we can have better security in the country. There's no need to say it's military, this and that. Everybody must come to play now.
Speaking about which, I mean, lots of people haven't let our opening go in terms of that relationship between the police and the PSC. Well, when you spoke about the PSC recruits every policeman except the IGP, many thought maybe you meant to say that, well, the president appoints the IGP, but the PSC recruits him as a police officer, so that's understandable. I get that. But they're also suggesting that. So why didn't police, just talk to the PSC, issue a joint statement that will appear well to the public? But that's a suggestion. But what would you suggest if I asked to say maybe one key thing that can be done to improve the relationship between the Nigerian police and the people? Because the people have to volunteer information. They have to seem to work together to improve security in the country.
We've been trying. This time around, you can see we have feedbacks from the public, the impression they have about the police now, that people are giving kudos to the Inspector General of Police for making police transparent, accountable, responsive, and good human relations this time around. For Baba, Usman Lakali Baba, the IGP, I can say it. My feedback has been so good that people are willing now to work with the police. They are ready to work with the police. More so that they've seen that we are taking discipline very serious and we don't take nonsense in the police this time around. So they are very, very comfortable working with us. And in recent times, people give information and nothing has happened to them. Before now, it's, if I give information to the police, they will come back to me. They will go after me. Yeah, my life is in danger if I do this. People feel more comfortable because I don't even need to know you before you give information. We have rolled out various platforms on social media, mechanisms, platforms where Nigerians can easily pass information across the world without your person being known. So now Nigerians feel more comfortable relating with the police. We have accessibility because one thing is when you cage yourself, people don't have access to you. They will not be comfortable seeing you. So I don't expect a DPO to shut his door at Nigerians that, no, hi, I'm a demigod here. I don't want to see. No, the IGP doesn't want that. In as much as the IGP is free seeing everybody in his office, so who is that DPO that will sit down and say, no, you cannot see me? So Nigerians, I think, are more comfortable now the way we engage them and the way we live with them. I'm sure.
All right. We do appreciate your time this morning as well. Adejobi is a Force Public Relations Officer. Well, that is the show today. We thank you all for watching. We will see you again here tomorrow on Sunrise Daily. I'm Chamberlain Uso. Have a good day.
Thank you for watching. I'm Alpa Yusuf.
I'm Ayo Makine. Good morning and have a wonderful day.
Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. I am Bukola Samuel Wemimo.